Welcome to Cosmos with Bailey. I'm Bailey and I'm a clairvoyant psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. Welcome. So, of course, I always dream. But today's video is going to be on the Venus heart and the heart-governed men of the cosmos, and also how this attributes to divine masculine energy, and also merging the divine masculine with the heart. Merging masculine energy with the divine heart, love, Venus, and creating the divine masculine or the loving king essence. And also this is how we get true spiritual royalty on the earth in alignment with the divine heart of the divine masculine. So this is how we get true spiritual royalty and loving king essence. This is the true essence of royalty and cosmic status in the cosmos, being governed by your heart. We get a little bit confused sometimes when it comes to the heart and spirituality and love and loving everyone. The best way to reach love is to unabashedly love your spirit first. And then that radiates out into the earthly realm. And you allow others to be as they are. You don't interfere in people. You don't try and save people. You're not self-sacrificing your masculine essence for others or others' pain. You are rooted in the divine heart of your masculinity and love for yourself, which is in essence radiating love of the Creator. So we get a little bit confused sometimes when it comes to love. I think men also do not know how to just love themselves and then love and express their own masculinity first. And a lot of times when men aren't empowered and love for themselves, they're not actually truly masculine. And you can have that real fiery oomph, boundaries, masculine energy in a man. But what makes him really, really divinely masculine is when he's in alignment with his heart and the deep love and self-respect for himself. And then that means that you are going to align with feminine energy whom you really deeply love and admire. When you're really deeply and connected into your own heart as a man and with your masculine essence, you will only want the best of the best spiritual energies for yourself. This is royalty. This is high expectations. This is spiritual standards for yourself as a man. And you will only want to align with a woman whom your soul loves. And so everything goes out the window when you're in alignment with your heart and divine love with someone in the physical reality, in the earthly realm. And all these dating rules don't apply. And I think we can get very misconstrued when we're trying to find a lover, or we're trying to find, where's my wife? What am I looking for? And we tend to only go off these really surface, I would say, earthly belief systems and what it means as a man to find a feminine woman per se. When really your heart and your soul's in charge. And we sometimes forget that the heart knows better than we do and our human thingies. And we forget that we do have a heart connection, and it is guiding us, that we may want to tune into it more consciously. And what I've seen with masculinity, you can have really masculine men, but they also be really, really deeply sensitive. And they sort of have their hearts shut down, and they're very protective and defensive of that sensitivity. And it'll typically only come out with a woman who they feel really, really deeply connected to in the heart. And then this exemplifies the masculinity in a man and opens up the heart space, and he becomes even more masculine because of love. He doesn't, love sort of brings out almost like the next level of his masculinity that's sort of not really being expressed, and he becomes this full heart-governed man, and he's very full in love, and he's very full in love for himself, and he won't tolerate bad behavior from other people. He won't tolerate people trespassing upon his energy, and he'll sort of hold that royal essence in his heart. Yeah, so essentially that is what is spiritual royalty. And we get a little bit confused with that and what spiritual royalty is. And I think a lot of people tend to think royalty is putting a crown on your head or calling someone a queen, when really royalty comes from being so in alignment with love in your heart, in your spirit first. And in my previous video, Why Men Want an Intuitive Woman on Their Arms, I talk about how in old world temple culture you would have these men high up in the temples, and they held that divine king essence. And when you're really, really governed by the heart and your masculinity, no one can tell you what to do, and you're sort of the self-governed king. And it's a very different form of masculinity in how we know it. And when he's really in alignment with that heart space, as I said, it exemplifies his masculinity tenfold. And that also comes through aligning with a woman whom he deeply loves on a soul level. And that's the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And the divine feminine, as I say in a lot of my videos, the divine feminine enhances his masculinity with love and intuition and cosmic connection in the heart space. This also brings me to Venus. So Venus holds love. Venus is love. And Venus holds the higher octave of how our Earth is, what our Earth is evolving into as we evolve and move into a new planetary era, which is the return of the matriarchal or divine feminine. So it makes sense that men are going to have these vast awakenings into divine kingdom in their spirits and go on the search to find a woman that will enhance him with divine love, essentially. And it's a very, very different way of how we've known relationship. And there's these awakenings that are going to happen over the next 3 years. There's going to be a lot of stuff play out in the collective consciousness. There's a world war coming on in. We know that. And but on the other spectrum, we're having these awakenings happening in the cosmos with the divine men, and we're having these influxes of divine love start to align, and we're having men sort of awaken from the slumber and feeling the heart and wanting different things from the spirit. And Venus, the heart of gold, Venus in the heart of gold in the man, and aligning with, that's the royalty of a man, is when he's governed by divine love. And it's not that this man turns wishy-washy or, he turns into a sippy-sook. He's so divine in that heart space and so self-governed and so full of his own divinity that he becomes royal. And this is when you start getting men who have the Midas touch upon the earth, and they're very, very good with business. They start, when you align with the heart in that way, you start getting higher levels of intuition, and you start doing very, very vast things in business and in love. You're not hindered. When we are disconnected from the heart as men and we don't have divine love, we are not our full highest potential. We do not have the loving king essence on the earth. And the loving king essence isn't about self-sacrifice. He's about finding divine love and then living out his pathway full of love for himself. And that's divine masculinity. We're so caught up in the self-sacrificial, caretaking, emotional, caretaking and all of that stuff. And we sort of, it's sort of like men let go of needing to be the savior and step into the divine light of his own radiance instead, and allow others to find it within themselves in their own timing. Maybe it's many past lives. Many lives that person needs to take, but he knows those people are on their journey. And when it comes to spiritual royalty in a man, he's only going to want the divine feminine. He's going to want the divine lover. He's not going, and we sort of forget that Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so we have these men awakening in the heart, and the way that that lover energy, or that divine masculine energy, or the loving energy in men, it expresses really differently to females, and it feels very, very different in the body. And I think sometimes females think that men feel energy and emotions the same, where it's very, very different. When the feminine is in her heart and in her radiance of the divine heart, it's very flowy and fun and light. It's like this pink color. It is a light, intuitive flow with the cosmos. It's very different. And then when it's the divine heart in a man, and the king, it's like this sturdy, solid essence of love, and it's so earthy, and it just matches the essence of masculinity, and it feels very full in the body and in the heart space, and it is this grounded man of the cosmos. And usually these men sort of radiate this confidence. You get a lot of confidence when you're connected into the heart, and masculine or feminine, because you have really high intuition, and you just know, you just flow, and a lot of confidence. And when men merge the heart with the solar plexus, they become even more confident, because the solar plexus is confidence, self-empowerment, going after what you want. And then when you're aligning with the heart chakra, the open heart chakra as well, a man becomes almost 10 times more powerful than he was before, but it's in a spiritual sense, because he's embodied with love. So, and his boundaries, when he's full of love, boundaries, he'll have these really strong boundaries. Love, when we embody love, we become fully self-realized and self-governed individuals. And it's a very different way of knowing power, and a very different way of knowing royalty and status, and all of those things that the ego consciousness that we're sort of evolving out of now. And it becomes more about love as the true status of the cosmos, or these divine couplings that come together in love in the heart. And so we are evolving out of this old state of being, and really moving into heart-governed connections now. And that means the opening of the divine masculine in his heart. And it's very exciting. And I'm just going to talk a little bit more about Venus as well. So Venus, as you know, Venus is the planet of love. It's sort of a state of consciousness, and it is the higher octave of the earthly realm, and something we're evolving into. And there's like these men, groupings of men that come through into the earthly realm, and they hold that higher royal Venus masculinity, and they sort of come to the earth and show us what the divine masculine is truly about. And we sort of step away from the old world spiritual self-sacrifice, and we sort of watch these men, these men come down to be divine fathers and divine lovers. And they really start stepping up the mark in relationship and showing other people how to be. And they just take things, these men with the Midas touch and the king heart and the royal essence, these men naturally can just take things to the next level. And it's because they're governed by the heart. I cannot say the true power of the heart when you're in alignment with the cosmos as a man, and the flow and the intuition and the abundance of spirit that you can experience in the body. And it gives us more of a purpose as well, and a spiritual purpose as well. When we are not tuned into that heart space, we become very lost. And so, as I said, the divine feminine comes in and ignites the true king essence in men through the heart, and it's almost supporting them into that royal status within. And we have the return of the loving king to our cosmos. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful.